lottery tickets are like a physical item. It's just like they have like actual no value and like theoretically like these non-collector things or whatever. Even if you don't get like the ring or whatever, you might get like some cool card or whatever, like sort of types. But yeah, so there's a box topper. Like some of them are pretty cool. I think like you can get gemstone caverns as one of them. And I don't know, looked at the other one. I think like Ancient Tomb is also like another one. There's also some really bad ones too, obviously. Like can't make all the box toppers good. But hopefully it's better than like the Dominaria box toppers from last week, because those were pretty bad. I don't think any of the Dominaria box toppers were worth more than like a quarter. It was. Oh, this is. I don't know. I think this might be like one of the Pillar of the Perons. Inn of the Prancing Pony. I don't know how much that one's actually worth. I think it's on the lower end or something like that, because I feel like this was a card that used to get played a lot in Modern when like Humans was a good deck. And or 5-color Humans was a good deck, and now that it's like not like a meta deck anymore, it's like not worth anything. But that's okay. They can't all be like winners, right? See. Yeah, it's like $1. It is $1, basically. Open the first pack. It's like really hard to like open. I also want to obviously not like damage the stuff inside and be careful. I've definitely like damaged cards by like opening the pack the wrong way. Like I just like aggressively opened it with like, you know, ripping it, and then like it damaged the rest of the cards inside. Dinged it a bit. Escape from Orthanc. Knights of Dol Amroth. Cast into the fire. Elven Farsight. Gwaihir the Windlord. Stern Scolding. Full Art Island. Doors of Durin. Legendary, or I don't know if people need me to read like all the cards that they probably saw in the drafts and stuff. Doors of Durin again. Okay, this is interesting. Champions of Minas Tirith, 5 and a white. Creature human soldier 4/6. When Champions of Minas Tirith enters the battlefield, you become the monarch. At the beginning of combat on each opponent's turn, if you're the monarch, that opponent may pay X, where X is the number of cards in their hand. If they don't, they can't attack you this combat. So it's like a Death and Axis commander type card. Okay. I mean, 6 mana is like way too much to play in Legacy. Right? Samwise the Stout Hearted. Cool. Ring art. Legolas Master Archer. Ring art. Aragorn Company Leader. That sword looks pretty cool there. He's striking that heroic pose with sword. Then Samwise a Stout-Hearted Foil. And Sam Loyal Attendant. 1 green white legendary creature, Halfling Peasant. Partner with Frodo, Adventurous Hobbit. At the beginning of combat on your turn, create a food token. Activated ability of foods you control costs 1 less to activate. And food. Tentacle. Tentacle token. Wonder how many tentacle tokens there are. Well, no, there were tentacle tokens in like Theros Beyond Death, right? I think so. Like from like Nadir Kraken or something like that. It made like tentacle tokens. I think so. Yes, it made a 1/1 blue tentacle creature token. So like if you're like a Nadir Kraken gamer, you can use like foil tokens now for your EDH deck if you made like Kraken tribal. They really want to make these hard to like open so that like you don't accidentally open it or something the wrong time. Like premature pack opening is a serious concern for collectors. Very serious concern. Dreadful as a storm. Kind of hard to like. The foil sometimes makes it a little hard to like focus. Yeah, just the usual blue temporary combat trick thing. Aaron Rider Gondor, the best white common for draft. Mirkwood Bats, probably better in like some kind of EDH deck than it is in draft, but it's still fine. Protector Gondor, aka Loyal Katar from Midnight Hunt. Reprieve. People were talking about this for a while. White Remand, right? White Remand is kind of cool. Peregrine Took. Full Art Mountain. Isildur's Fateful Strike. Legendary Instant. I think most of the legendary cards from... Hey, the Night Dark Life, how's it going? Most of the legendary cards from, like, Dominaria, like, if I remember, like, Dominaria, they had, legendary sorceries that you could only cast if you controlled, like, a legendary creature or planeswalker, and then this is just continuing the trend. It's like, oh, there's a legendary instant. Shagrat Loot Bearer, which for some reason that name makes me think of Austin Powers because of Shag in the name. Call for Aid, 4 and a red sorcery. Gain control of all creatures target opponent controls until end of turn. Untap those creatures. They gain haste until end of turn. You can't attack that player this turn. You can't sacrifice those creatures this turn. So it's like a fixed version of it's like a fixed version of whatever the card. I don't know. The I can't even think of the name of it. Like the 8 mana steal everything, but it's only 5 mana. It's not 8. The other Faramir Field Commander. Aragorn the Uniter ring art as cool. Knights of Dol Amroth. Rosie Con in the South Lane. And the Balrog. Not to be confused with like Street Fighter. And a food orc army token. Yeah, and Rice Pad, how's it going? Yeah, some of the arts do look pretty cool. Like the ring art, yeah, it's kind of like neat. Just like looking at it, you're like, oh wow, that is kind of neat for sure. I think they did like a good job with like the all arts for sure. Yeah. I can't believe like the One Ring is like $70 now or something like that. Like it's it's gone up quite a bit from like the pre-order, I guess. Or looking at the tabletop prices, I think it was, or has it? I guess it was like around 40 or something like that. A pre-order, now it's like 70. Yeah. Do people actually like pre-order a lot of cards? I actually try not to because every time I like pre-order cards, like based on like my idea of what I think is like a good card, I'm like extremely disappointed by what I did. Like I thought, I mean personally, I thought that like Kroxa and Kunaros were gonna be really cool in EDH, but then people pointed out it's a 6-drop and it's also like 3 colors. So yeah, and I don't know. I don't think like my understanding is that EDH decks that don't have like green or blue in them are not very popular because everybody wants to play green and blue or both in their EDH deck because it makes your deck more powerful if you can play green or blue, I think. Because all the card draw and stuff is like, right? Like someone, like somebody, like does anyone remember like they did like some chart of like card advantage across like across like the 5 colors, and it used to be just like blue draw cards, like green play a creature that enters the battlefield, draw a card, and then you know black is like draw a card, lose life. And like red is like exile a card off top of your library. And then white is like um do X, Y, Z, and your opponent does something, and then you draw a card, or like you have to go through like a lot more effort to like draw cards than white. But they've been getting better about making like white card draw lately, so that's cool. Okay. Eastling Vanguard, Swarming of Moria, Troll of Khazad Dunedain Blade, Meneldor Swiss Savior, Hail of Tenuviel, Plains, Lobelia Sackville Baggins, Goldberry River Daughter, Fealty to the Realm, 4 in the blue, Enchantment Aura, enchant creature. When Fealty to the Realm enters the battlefield, you become the Monarch. The Monarch controls enchanted creature. Enchanted creature attacks each combat if able and can't attack you. Funny. That's like mind control, but it actually it's not explicitly mind control because like it will like if somebody takes the Monarch away from you, then they get to control the creature. Gimli counter kills. Oh wow, Ancient Tomb. That is kind of cool. Look at that Ancient Tomb. Ancient Tomb. Ancient Tomb deals 2 damage too. On the slab runes were deeply graven. Fallen, son of Fundin, Lord of Moria. Maybe there's like some lore person that would explain like the whole story behind like the Ancient Tomb, but right, Pippin's Bravery. That is not Karn in the background, that's an orc. Mirkwood Bats. And Minas Tirith. And a food token / orc army. That tomb is ballin', I agree. It does look pretty cool. Oh, that's pretty cool. Alright. Okay, so these packs are kind of hard to open. I'm sure it's like intentional, so that you don't like accidentally open them or something. I haven't seen any Nazgul yet, but that was only like 3 packs, so not really like, you know. Did I open the One Ring yet? No, 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 not yet. Like maybe I opened the 2 ring though. Because so far all I've done was open Ancient Tomb. I opened Ancient Tomb. Soldier of the Grey Host. Lothlorien Lookout. Gimli's Fury. East Farthing Farmer. Theoden, King of Rohan. Voracious Fellbeast. Plains. Oh, last March of the Ents. That's cool. This is definitely like EDH fodder for sure, right? 8 mana, 8 mana, like 8 mana sorcery, man with butterfly. Like when you see like a 7 or 8 mana sorcery or enchantment or something, it's like, oh, is this like an EDH card? That's cool. File of Galadriel, which it's like a variant of, it's like a mana rock or, Alhammaret's archive type thing. It's not exactly the same type. It's like the same type of card you would play in an Alhammaret's archive deck, but I know it's not the same thing. Yeah. Sail into the west. 2 green and a blue, instant. Will of the Council, starting with you. Each player votes for return or embark. If return gets more votes, each player returns up to 2 cards from their graveyard to their hand, and then you exile Sail into the. If embark gets more votes or the vote is tied, each player may discard their hand and draw 7 cards. Okay. Peregrine took Smeagol Helpful Guide. I know some people were like talking about playing this in like constructed because it really nerfs those decks that have like no land in them, because that was one of the things about like Zendikar Rising is it made it a lot easier to like make decks that have 0 land in them because all the MDFC cards that are like spells that you can play as like a tap land. But Dunland Creebane, aka Training Champion at Home, Nasty End, and the Shire. Another food orc army token. A lot of food tokens, but maybe I'm just opening the same food. Right, that was like 4, I think. Yeah, it was the 4th one. So you still have like 8 more chances to get the One Ring. Right. Hey there, Evolving Lala, how's it going? Hey there, Weezy, the One Ring, yeah. Does anyone remember, like, if you played, like, World of Warcraft, you could go fishing, and then they actually had, like, there was actually, like, the One Ring or something like that in the game, or whatever, like, they actually had, like, the One Ring in the game, and, like, the ability of the ring was, like, it just gave +1 to all your stats. Yeah, no, I saw that. I saw that. Apparently, he, put up he was like saying on stream he wanted his friends to like spend, or he was like paying his friends like 500,000, like he was like willing, sorry, he was willing to like get his friends to pay to buy boxes of like packs for him up to like $500,000 or something, which I mean, I'm sure $500,000 is like nothing to him, but you know. All right, Relentless, Rohirrim, Orcish Medicine, which is also a card I feel like I've underestimated. People have underestimated it. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like, if Mr. Beast said he wanted to spend like $500,000 on Magic cards, no, like people would just be like, "Oh man, that's really awesome." Oh, just that's how it is, right? When you get up to a certain level of celebrity, you can just say, "Oh, I want to spend $500,000 on like Beanie Baby." Sorry, is Captain of sorry Westfold Rider is like your variant of whatever Kathar Commando, except it doesn't cost mana, but it's only a sorcery. It doesn't cost mana to sacrifice it. I mean, Captain of Umbar, Lost to Legends, I'm sure is really good in EDH because there's so many historic permanents. There, Glorfindel, Dauntless Rescuer, Mountain, Roll of Isildur, Flowering of the White Tree, Riders of Rohan, 3 and a red white creature human knight. When Riders of Rohan, there's a 4/4. When Riders of Rohan enter the battlefield, create 2/2 red human knight creature tokens with trample and haste, and dash 4 and a red white. Yeah. So it basically puts in like 8 power into play for like 5 mana, and then you can. It doesn't have haste itself unless you dash it though. Something to be aware of. So it doesn't technically like it's not like 8 power of like haste or whatever unless you dash it. Legolas counter kills. Gondal the Grey. I remember. I think they like previewed the ring art by showing this specific card or whatever. They were talking about the ring arts. Quick Beam, Upstart Ent, and Gollum, Patient Plotter, and Gimli, Mournful Avenger. He was so mournful about the last Avengers movie. Treasure token. Actually, I haven't like watched any of the Avenger movies in a while. The best card he pulled was like a Soul Ring. Yeah. Wait, aren't all the One Rings basically just Soul Ring or whatever? Like the right? Well, sorry, the ones that are like serialized or something like that. Those are Soul Rings. Like that's not like technically One Ring. Like the actual ability on it is Soul Ring because they want to appeal to like Commander players. Because like there's more Commander players that want Soul Ring in their deck, not like One Ring deck. So the price on One Ring has gone kind of crazy the last couple weeks just because everybody's like playing around with it. You don't understand the card market, yeah. I don't really understand the card market either, which is why I really should not be like speculating on anything. Like if you want to find somebody who's good at like guessing what cards are playable, I'd probably check like Darkest Mage. But you'd have to like ask him to like I don't know. It's like sometimes he'll talk about cards he thinks are really good or whatever. But anyways, Storming Memoria, Troll of Khazad-dûm, Dunedain Blade, Bombadil Song, Foray of Orcs, Old Man Willow, Swamp. Like just examples. Like I think he was talking about like Night of the Reliquary back when it was like $4. Like he was saying like, oh, I think this card's like really underplayed, and it went up to like 13 for a while. I mean now it's like $1 because like Night of the Reliquary is super power creep out of the four. Also like Polygon's Command. He was like one of the first people that really got into that card, like when it was like $2. And briefly it was like 20 for a while. And now that card's also like unprinted. But Fall of Care Andros. Gloin Dwarf Emissary. Baragon of the Guard, 3 in the white, legendary creature, human, soldier, 3/3. When Baragon of the Guard or another human enter the battlefield under your control, creatures you control get +1/+1 and gain vigilance until end of turn. So it's like a human, yeah, it's like a human tribal payoff card. That's cool. Nazgul. Oh man, we opened a Nazgul. Okay. Yeah, it's like one of the arts. Like, I think these are the ones that are like really expensive or something. When I say expensive, I mean it's like it's $10. Whatever. And then Sauron the Dark Lord. Cool. And Lobelia Sackville Baggins. And Wizard Rockets. And Gondal the White. Ooh, foil. Look at that foiling. That is kind of pretty. Ooh, pretty. You know, Leoloop MD. 88 to 95% of the player base, it drives value in a very weird and bubbly way, similar to the crypto market, but it does drive value. Yeah. No, I think you're right. Like, valuing cards based on, like, um, standard or 60 card constructed playability is not really that viable anymore. You're right, because, like, there's just, like, the actual number of players who play like 60 card formats like pales in comparison to the number of people who play plays. You're absolutely right. So it doesn't matter if like cards are playable in standard or pioneer or modern or legacy. It just matters if they're it just matters if they're EDH playable. That's why they always call every new expensive set, oh, it's like Commander Masters. Because, you know, they gotta have, like, you know, doubling season at Mythic. You know, because doubling season is really expensive. They gotta have swords, or, you know, the good swords at, like, Mythic. They gotta have, like, you know, the Portal 3 Kingdoms cards as, like, a chase Mythic, too, because everybody wants, like, their Imperial Seal or capture of Jingzo or whatever, but I'm just here, like, trying to play drafts and stuff, and, you know, sometimes waste money on, like, collector booster boxes, or weird, weird specs or something. Weird specs that don't work out. If I can like, the focus on this. Okay, now I feel like the focus on this, I could just fix it. Really. Yeah, Torment of Golem, Greyhaven Navigator, Quarrel's End, Dreadfall's Storm, Saruman's Trickery. Now, this is something I think I might have, like, underestimated, like, the value of it. Yeah, it's legal and historic. Like, I might have underestimated the value of, like, 3 mana counter, make a 1/1, right? It's actually not bad, right? Like, in terms of, like, playability. Denethor, Ruling Steward, and Plains, Flowering of the White Tree, Elven Chorus, which is kind of cool. It's, you know, your variant on Augur of Autumn and Cryptolith Rites. Lobelia Defender of Bag and oh, this is new. So two in the black, legendary creature, halfling citizen, 2/2. When Lobelia enters the battlefield, look at the top card of each opponent's library and exile those cards face down. Then tap, sacrifice an artifact, choose one. Until end of turn, you may play a card, exile Lobelia without paying his mana cost, and each opponent loses 2 life you gain. Okay. I wonder, like, yeah, you could probably do something like you could like do something that like puts like a specific card on the top of your opponent's library and then play this so that you know what you're exiling, right? And there's plenty of cards like that in blue, especially. Right, Golem, Patient Plotter, Samwise, Gamgee, Orca's Bowmaster. Oh, nice! Orca's Bowmaster. There we go, alternate art. Yep. This this is one of the like this is one of the more expensive cards in the set. Or I think it is. Hey, Suspect 9000, the White Tree card, really? I didn't know that. But yeah, Orca's Bowmasters. Yeah, that's money. And then a Legolas and Rivendell, the food human soldier token. Oh man, he's got the epic spear stance, like getting ready to slay those monsters or whatever. Slay the monster. All right, that is no. We're actually that was the seventh one. That was the seventh one. So this is the eighth one. Yeah, I mean the thing is, people who play EDH, they're not. Those are people that have a lot of money to spare. They're not like looking to sell their collection anytime soon, right? One of One Ring. Oh yeah, that would be pretty amazing. I'm pretty sure if I opened it, I would just stop the stream right there, though. I had to stop the stream right there and go into hiding. But I'm not gonna like look at the cards in advance or something, cause that would kind of ruin the surprise. But if I did open it, I would just have to like go into hiding right away. Right. Less I'd be like swarmed by like, you know, stuff. Alright, Lembas, which actually like Darkest Mage had a really interesting discussion about like this card. He was saying that um it's like it's kind of like preordained or whatever. I know it costs like I mean it's not the same thing as preordained, but it costs like 2 mana. But then he's like thinking, but like if this costs like 1 mana, like everybody would play it in every deck, right? Like you just play in every deck. It was like scry. It was like colorless scry one draw card, right? But it's clearly not preordained, but it does something like I guess similar or whatever. It costs 2 mana. There was more to the discussion than that. I might be taking it way out of context. Glorious Gale, Glorious Gale, aka Essence Scatter Upside. Stalwarts of Osgiliath. This is also a card I really like underestimated how good it was just because like if you can actually like reliably hit ring level 3 or ring level 2 of this, it's basically just like a 5-4 or a 6-5. Really. Killing Vanguard. Build the pony. Long list of ents. Very memeable. Very memeable card. Forest. There and back again. I don't know why it makes like 14 treasure tokens. There's probably like some lore reason that explains why it's exactly 14, but I don't know. Hew the Entwood. Legolas Green. Legolas Greenleaf. 2 and a green. Reach 2/2. Legendary creature Elf Archer. Legolas Greenleaf can be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less. Whenever a legendary creature enters the battlefield under your control, whenever another legendary creature enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on Legolas Greenleaf. Whenever Legolas Greenleaf deals combat damage to player, draw a card. Elrond, Lord of Rivendell. Another Rivendell. Balrog, Durin's Bane. Elrond, Lord of Rivendell, and Aragorn, company leader. So why are elves blue in this set? I guess because reasons or whatever. Because like elves are interested in card draw and scrying now. Or it's I guess it just makes it different because it's like you can't because they swim good. Yeah, they're like merfolk. They're basically just merfolk, except they just have have lungs and not gills. Well, I mean sometimes they do things different, right? Like they had white vampires and like Ixalan, right? Though I guess now like it's like canon that like vampires can be white because of like Edgar Markov, and then like various other things. Like, oh, there's white vamp. I guess Soren is like a white vampire. That's why Soren's also like a white vampire. Doesn't make sense. Need red merfolk. There was, I mean, are you gonna count like the merfolk goblin from like that one set? I think wasn't like Invasion. They had like merfolk goblin or something like that, but I guess that doesn't count. No, they've actually had red merfolk. In Theros Beyond Death, there was like in Theros Beyond Death, and also Over the Gatewatch. I guess it wasn't like a mono red merfolk, if that's what you're asking, but they had blue red merfolk at least. Yeah, I mean they've had merfolk in like every color, like that's touched every color. Like they had blue black merfolk, blue white merfolk, blue green merfolk, and red merfolk. Surrounded by orcs, Loathed Ambush, Breaking the Fellowship, which was also again a card I really underestimated, but it just turned out that Mutiny that has Ring Tempts You text on it is good. Enraged Horn, Book of Mazarbul, Shadow Summoning, aka half of Lingering Souls. Does enter the tap though. That's relevant. Island, Gondal the Grey, Mithrocoat, aka Flash, Dark Steel Plate. It costs more to play and costs more to equip, but it can auto equip to a legendary. Right, Pippin, Warden of Isengard, black green, legendary creature halfling advisor 2/2. Partner with Mary, Warden of Isengard. One generic tap, create a food token. Tap, sacrifice 4 food. Other creatures you control get +3/+3 and gain haste in a turn. Activate only this. Gimli, counter of kills. What is it? Weathertop Deserted Temple? Oh, right, Deserted Temple. Yeah, it's like if you need to like use another land multiple times in one turn, this can do it for you. You just have to spend like 2 mana to untap your other land. It's like good with like lands that have like utility, right? Oliphant, Knights of Dol Amroth, and Sauron, Lord of the Rings. 5 and blue, black, red, legendary creature avatar horror 9/9. When you cast a spell, amass orcs 5, mill 5 cards, then return a creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Trample. Whenever a commander an opponent controls dies, the food tentacle. Food tentacles. Is there an artifact merfolk? I mean, if you want to count like stuff like um I don't remember what it was. Like that artifact that you can pay 5 and it makes a 2/2 of choose a creature type or something, or I think. Uh I remember like opening it like ages ago or something in like a booster pack. I think it was like Volrath's Laboratory or something like that. I think that's what it was. Or yeah, Volrath's Laboratory. That can make like. Oh wait, those are just colorless. Never mind. They're not actually artifacts. Oh no, they're actually you actually have to choose a color. Never mind, they're not colorless either. Just it just makes tutus of like a color and a creature type that you choose. Okay, I guess I was confused about it then. Alright, there's 3 more packs left. Oh hey there, Wingspear, how's it going? I thought there was a lot of like black like Rakdos goblins or whatever because of the um Shadowmoor like Lorwyn set. What was that the Lorwyn set? Sorry, Shadowmoor was different because Shadowmoor was like the opposite or whatever. Like it was right. It was like a all. It was kind of like the opposite of Lorwyn or Aaron Rider of Gondor. The best white common in draft. Mirkwood Bats. Protector Gondor. Dagon Porter. Arwen and Undumiel. Barrablades. Forest. Fall of Gilgalad. Lobelia Sackville Baggins. Mirkwood Elk. 5 of the green, creature elk, 6/6 trample. Whenever Mirkwood Elk enters the battlefield or attacks, return target elf card from your graveyard to hand. You gain life equal to that card's power. Cool, it's like an elf payoff. It's an elf payoff, it's not an elk payoff. Can't make elk tribal yet. But Proto Baggins. A Dole Amroth, which is it's Minamo School at Water's Edge, Legendary Land, add a blue on top legendary permanent. Then Barad-dûr and a Shire Sheriff. And Gimli Mournful Avenger. A food treasure token. Phase Vaulter, yeah. Oh, they just need more of them. Right. Yeah. Maybe well no, I guess they don't have that in maybe they'll do like a return the temple or return the Lorwyn set at some point. I don't maybe not because like it feels like they maybe not because it does feel like they'd rather do like Eldraine now. Eldraine is like the popular fantasy. Right? Actually, is anybody like I kind of wonder if they're gonna break Destructive again with uh the Eldraine set in the fall. Alright, there's 2 packs left. I mean, people could say changelings, like colorless changelings, are basically colorless, but then that's probably being pedantic. But changelings are merfolk. I mean, yes, they are, but I think when people think about like, is this like a tribal card? I think like it actually has to say like this on it. Wait, Lorien revealed, Dire Terrace, Oliphant, Esquire of the King. Gondal Sanction, aka people comparing this to Zenith Flare. You cannot pass. I don't think I've actually seen anybody cast this card ever, but sure somebody will. Plains. Beagle, Helpful Guide. Battle of Bywater. Fourth Lingos. I think I saw somebody playing this in like Legacy. Yeah, so X and red white sorcery create X 2/2 red human knight creature tokens with trample and haste. Whenever one or more creatures you control deal combat damage to one or more players, this turn you become dark. Yeah, I saw somebody casting this in Legacy when I was watching like Everos. Like, oh, that I didn't even know that was like, right. It's a bird, so of course it's Legacy. Samwise Stout-Hearted. Shire. Gothmog Morgul Lieutenant. Prince Imrahil the Fair. And Samwise Gamgee. The food. Arm. Alright, one pack left, so this either has to have the One Ring or we just have to raid Isaiah, and I'm just kidding. I'm surprised like it has like the One Ring hasn't been found already by you know like some celebrity, because that would definitely, well, maybe that would be really controversial if like a celebrity found it, because like it's so rigged. But I mean, the thing is, celebrities would have like the most money to like spend on magic cards, right? Like Bagan Porter, claim the precious. Largier Survivor. I thought this card was bad, but actually it turns out that like adding mana of any color is a big deal. Because most of the time when you see this type of effect, it's like just tap, add blue. Makes it worse. A lot worse. Right? Rohirrim Lancer is also like surprisingly a lot better than I thought, because turns out like putting menace, like a 1/1 menace, is really good at like Ant Draught Basin, Dudiconies, which I don't really know what's going on there. I something like Island, Minas Tirith, Lofo Corrupt Sheriff, Ewan Shield Maiden, 2 blue, red, white, legendary creature, human knight, first or 5/4. First strike at the beginning of combat on your turn, if another human enters the battlefield under your control this turn. Create 2 red human knight tokens with trample and haste. Then if you control 6 or more human, draw a card. That's cool. It's like a Jeskai human payoff. Peregrine took Boromir, Warden of the Tower. Many partings. Lash of the Balrog. And Saruman of Many Colors. By being many colors, it's actually only a card. And a food. That was the end of the collector booster box opening. Thanks everyone for joining me. Yeah, they could have it already. They're just waiting until the last possible moment to say it, but alright, I guess so. We got a ancient tomb. There was an ancient tomb, a this last march of the Ents. I guess you can't see it because it's like out of focus, but yeah, ancient tomb, if you haven't seen it. And then last March of the Ents. And Orchid Bowmasters. And Gondalf the White. Foil. Sauron the Dark Lord. And a Nazgul. I mean, I think you can get the Nazgul from like the draft packs, right? So like, I'm sure somebody's there's probably going to be like some there's do some bronze draft, yeah. All right, thanks everyone for joining the video. If you like it, please consider please consider like following the stream or subscribing to the YouTube. But anyways, I will see you in the next video.